name is Sachi Dastidar. I am the chair of the conference committee. So welcome to you all. ISPaD project is honored for your presence. This is our 4th conference. There were about 40 inquiries for presentation. Finally, 15 are being presented here. None of the 3 foreign presenters are here as they did not get visa. Let me introduce some individuals who have worked hard to make our conference successful. First, our trustees. Pabitra, he just called, he is wandering around. Ramenda is here. There is Ramenda. Tom is there, our trustee. Dilip is not here. And Shefali, she just opened the door. Not this lady, the lady behind. So, then there is our project coordinator, Shubho. And then there are our 2 interns, Manpreet and Chandni in the back. Let me thank our always very Vice President, Dr. ML Langlie, for including us in our Panther Pride event. Our conference was sponsored by Dr. Rudranath Talukdar, Dastidar family, Ramen and Bonani Nandi. Ramen is there, Bonani is sitting outside. Oh, I'm sorry, how could I? You move fast. Pratibda, again I mentioned, Pratib Dasgupta, he's going around. Dr. Dilip Karanth of Wisconsin, Dilip Nath of Queens, he's not here, and then Dr. Tom and Teresa Lilly. One missing name is in the schedule. Actually, what I mean is this one. You will see here, it mentions the conference sponsors. One missing name is Dr. Joyita Dastidar, who gave us several thousands of dollars. Our project is funded through individual contributions. Just recently, we got a grant of $3,000 from an individual, while our smallest donation was $2. Our sincere thanks to all of them. Please let us know of any source where we may apply for funding. Today we are raising funds through selling our journal for $5 if anybody would like to. Please pick up a few if you think your friends might want to get one. Donation to ISPaD is tax exempt. I thank you all for supporting ISPaD. We are releasing our 2nd journal today. This one. Sorry for stealing from you. Papers came from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and the US. There were a few more, but didn't come back to us on time with editorial changes. There are 10 articles in the journal. 19 individuals or groups have sponsored the journal. You'll see in the back their name. Please forgive me for not reading these names, their names. We can't thank them enough. Few of them are present here. Please accept our pranam greetings. We had cancelled the presentation of Shubho and me to accommodate a paper. Now I know that we are back on. Last night the person calls and says, well, cannot come. So there are some who wanted to speak impromptu. I'm very sorry that we could not accommodate them. But please speak up during question and answer. Panel chairs, please do take note. No, people just wanted to give speech. I said, no, that's not right. You know. I will be failing ISPaD if I do not thank Attorney Kormokar. Again, he is also the one who called me 5 times. He's somewhere in the, he was in the, last time he was in the campus center. I said, just come across. I hope he's coming right. With open arms, he invited ISPaD to meet at the building of the law offices of Ashok Kormokar. That office is on 143rd Street and Hillside in Queens. Since July, it has been ISPaD's home. What a big heart. Thank you, Mr. Ashok Babu. With that said, we would like to invite Mr. Pabitra Chowdhury to give us a brief keynote speech. Mr. Chowdhury wears many hats in the New York, Indian, Bengali, and Hindu communities. He is a former editor of New York Bengali monthly paper, Udayan, and now edits India Worldwide and Internet Journal. After that, we'll have welcome from Dr. Langlie and then Dr. Barbara Hillary, Dean of Arts and Sciences. After that, we'll have award presentation to Dr. Becky Kalmans, who is here. We'll also honor Mr. Len Davis, but he will come at 1 o'clock. Please please join us for lunch after the end of our conference across the grass in the campus center atrium. So with that, let me invite Mr. Pabitra Chowdhury. This is one of our trustees. I mentioned Pabitra Gupta, who was wandering on to enjoying in our. You can see it. You can see it. You can. Sorry.
No, just no speaker.
No. I mean, this is the classes we have. I mean, yes, it's everybody can hear.
Good morning, everyone. Good ladies and gentlemen, and everyone. Now, it is the early morning that you all have come here. That is a tribute to the cause you are coming for. And really, we are grateful for that. In fact, it is an individual duty. In our case, Professor Dastidar, he is actually trying to take up a lot of his time to expose some truth. And actually, what was happening, history was distorted right through the ages in Bengal, particularly in India, in part of the eastern part of India, that is Bengal. Right from 1946, that kind of thing was going on. So he is trying to make out a documentation of all the things happened during the days of partition. Now, in the western part, one archive in California, and another archive that is also India Partition Archive and American India Foundation. Those two projects are going on. They are mostly recording the western, what happened in the Punjab sector of India during partition days. But for eastern part, Professor Dastidar's ISPaD project is the only one. And in fact, if we go into the details, we know that Steven Spielberg, while doing his film, The Schindler's List, started on the thing, and he took interviews of 52,000 survivors of the Holocaust. That is a big project, and after that, he has made a USC Shoah Foundation. Shoah is the word for Hebrew word for Holocaust, and that he has done all his research. He has put into a trust and ultimately made a part of University of Southern California Department of Humanities, or like that, a part of foundation, and with some 10 million or 5 million grant from his own pocket, he has started it. But unfortunately, Professor Sikdar is not getting $5 million, I suppose. Not even close to that, anything. So we are doing it, he is doing it, and right now, there are a couple of, it is coming in the focus, and there are, in particularly what is happening in Bengal, this thing is coming and again and again. Why the Holocaust Museum was done? Because they want that it never again. That was the whole motto of the Holocaust Museum, that never again. But in case of Bengal or India, what is happening, it is coming back again and again as if it is haunting us. It happened in 46 in Calcutta in one day's time. It started on 16th August 1946 in Calcutta, called Great Calcutta Killing. The idea was to bifurcate India and to make out a land for the theocratic Islamic State. That Calcutta witnessed a killing of 10,000 Hindus in 1 week time starting on 16th August 1946. Same thing happened in 47. Same thing happened in 40, 60, 64, 1971. Some 3 million people were killed during the struggle of Bangladesh movement. But out of that 3 million, 2.5 million was Hindus. And during that time, US actually was a mute spectator to the whole thing. The Consul General from Dhaka, US Consul General, was Mr. Blood. He sent out an extraordinary telegram to the Nixon administration here that Hindus are genocidally attacked in Bangladesh, do something. Nixon did not pay attention. The ambassador from India at that time, Kenneth Keating, he sent another message to White House here, Nixon administration, that Hindus are dying like in a genocide. That was in 1971. But Nixon said Kenneth Keating was a traitor, because being an ambassador of America, he is not talking what he's supposed to talk, what the administration thinks. Now, Mr. Blood was ousted. Recently, a book has come out, Mr. Blood's telegram, and during the Nixon days and Kissinger days. So these things, it did not stop in 1971. There is a peculiar way in the news media and the Indian media all the time, mostly censors all the kind of killings of Hindus. There is a peculiar mindset of the Hindus. I am a Hindu. There is a peculiar mindset of the Hindus. They cannot talk clearly if they are heard by their own masters. Because old masters were Christians, British, and the Muslims. They are not in a position to even talk clearly, right? But the same thing, same mindset is haunting us and killing the people again and again, and no research, nothing else is done by them. In 1989, in Kashmir Valley, inside India-controlled Kashmir, some 500,000 Hindus were evicted out of their land. You will not even believe, who are not familiar with that place, that they are still living in the camps. But Indian media never cites the thing at all, and it is going almost unreported. But in 1990, same thing happened in Bangladesh, 92 again, and 2001, a change of government took place in Bangladesh, and then it started again the avalanche of attacks on the Hindus. In fact, I got just the other day a small leaflet, Ethnic Cleansing on Bangladesh. It was dated 2001. Professor Dastidar was also a party speaker over there. We made out, Mr. Ramanand is here, we made out a meeting in Queens in Temple Auditorium. But this thing has not stopped. Main reason is that somehow or other, the Indian news media and the American news media never prints. The New York Times will never print what happens to the Hindus in Bangladesh. But it is not only that Hindus are suffering, the point is that the history is distorted, and it haunts again and again. Holocaust must not repeat. That's why there is never again, there is Holocaust Museum I made. So ISPaD also is doing that kind of project, but we have to do projects like that, 1971, 2001. In 2001, one Bangladeshi human rights gentleman, Mr. Shahriar Kobi, he has documented in 2,800 pages in 3 books the tortures that was unleashed among the Hindus. And suppose you see there in the over there in the papers, there are still the people are trying to do something. There is a full-page ad by the Christians of Egypt on the torture of the Christians of Egypt that is been going on for last several months. But unfortunately, the Indians and Hindus here, it is not a Hindu thing, it is actually a humanitarian thing. But somebody has to take a lead. There was no such thing that is placed by the Hindus to take up the cause. They are somehow they are not coming forward. And very recently, on 4th of this month, there is a day in the year that we call remembering the olds, our departed souls of generations ago, father, grandfather. So we do some kind of rituals on that day. During 71, some 2.5 million Hindus were killed in Bangladesh. They were not, there was no rituals for them because the country at that time was in turmoil. Everybody, because people were running helter-skelter, bombing was going on. So they decided to do a mass funeral in this last 4th October during the Mohalaya day. And some crores were funded. In fact, people from here, from all over the world, sent money to the Bangladeshi survivors, not the survivors only, but their progeny, to come and do in a big Maidan. 3 days before the thing, after all the money was spent for the arrangements and pandals and everything, it was banned by the government. That was not allowed to be performed. So that is it is impossible to think even that some government can stop the rituals of a community, but it was stopped. And so there are a lot of things that the generation has to do. And if the people here who have assembled here, they do a small thing, write some paper, particularly in the newspapers, because one time I met assistant to the executive editor of New York Times, a couple of us. They said only one thing for you to do, because you cannot change the mindset of the paper. We met him in an informal setting, but you can just write on. If a lot of people from your community writes, then we'll think on it. So that is the way. If somebody from our assembly here keeps on writing on something which where imperfection is going on or where the things are not going properly, if somebody keeps on writing in the newspaper, sometimes they publish and their mindset also change. Thank you very much for listening to me and giving me the chance to talk.
Thank you.
Namaskar.
Thank you.
What he mentioned, it's not funeral, it's called memorial. Actually, it's a shraddha, showing respect that Bangladesh for the people who were killed. So Bangladesh government says, no, you can't do that. And this is a supposedly pro-secular government. Anyway, so with that, let me invite Dr. Langlie to welcome, to say a few words, and after that, Dr. Pabitra.
Good morning, how are you?
Well, thank you. Good morning.
Come here. I have so much respect for your work. I'm familiar. We've met.
But they're the ones who are
But
with us. Yeah.
we've met,
Yeah,
and you've
yeah.
explained to me what your cause is, and I just respect a lot what you're doing,
Thank
and
you.
I wish you the very best.
All right.
What I do want to tell you before I talk about Panther Pride is that in 2004 I spent 2 weeks in India. I have a very good friend who married a man named Junius Venugopal, whose name I can pronounce. Look at that. And who I love them both. I love Junius, and she lived in India for 15 years. She's an American girl, but she lived in India for 15 years. She cooks delicious Indian food when I go to visit her. But I spent 2 weeks in Dehradun as a guest, and I fell in love with naan bread hot off the oven, and I love
Nice.
mango,
Oh, me
so
too.
in
Me
India,
too.
so I really enjoyed my time in India. I have good friends in Delhi, so I'll get back. But at any rate, I really respect the cause that you're pursuing, and I wish you the very best.
Thank you.
On behalf of the State University of New York at Old Westbury, I want to welcome you. This is our beautiful new academic building. We're so pleased with this building. It's a gift. And so today is the last day of our homecoming week. And so from noon to 4 this afternoon, if you go out on the fields, you'll see all kinds of games and petting zoos and animals and children, and it's a big family day for us. So it's a very fun day. Feel free to join us. There's a dinner, an early dinner after that. You're welcome to join us at the dinner. I have very fashionable t-shirts here for you if you want a t-shirt. And then out we left in the front for you a pen. We have a very fun little pen. This is our Panther Pride pen, and it's got, see? Is that cool? So, you know, it says Panther Pride Homecoming here, and here is the schedule. So students think this pen is very cool. So you have now one of our cool pens. So, but on behalf of SUNY Westbury, thank you so much for being here, and I wish you a very good day, and I have such respect for the work you're doing.